Hey everybody, it's Nick. I just wanted to give you a little free preview of my brand new book, Comprehensive Saxophone Warmups, and just wanted to show you some of the stuff that's inside that can really benefit your saxophone playing. Um, and you should go over and grab your copy because I really do believe I spent a long time on this book and it's all of my warm-up practices. And as you read in the book, I'm kind of a warm-up freak, so this is basically everything I've worked on over the years to get to the point that I'm at. So let's take a look. So you've got all this advice right in the beginning here. Plenty of advice on how to structure your warm-up time, what material is going to be in the book, and then we get right into the meat of it. So you got your sound concepts section. I have you do some mouthpiece and neck work, and that's just a precursor to actually putting together the horn, doing some long tones. And then I go into overtones and harmonics, which are maybe one of the most important parts of playing the saxophone that there is. If you can master those overtones and harmonics, you're really going to be in good shape on saxophone. So then I've got my long tone exercises. You've got your overtone exercises, and this is just kind of a primer. This isn't going to get you, really, really up there in the range. I think I go 2 octaves there. So that'll get you into that stuff. And then we start getting into the actual technical work of the saxophone, such as scales and arpeggios. So I give you a bunch of advice on how to practice everything, how to memorize all this stuff, how to work with the metronome. There's a big section on metronome because that is one of my tools that I can't live without. A little section on exactly how to position your fingers, all that good stuff, order of key signatures, how to actually practice through all 12 keys without developing a pattern that you don't want to develop. And then I talk about articulation. So these are going to be the articulation patterns that will carry you through the whole book, and that'll get you the most well-rounded warm-up that you can possibly have. And then we go right into our major and harmonic minor scales. So I explain a little bit about why I chose these, and then we get right into it. So you can see I've got all the major scales, full range written out for you in every key. And then I've got all 12 harmonic minor scales written out for you, full range of the saxophone, so all the way up to the highest note, all the way down to the lowest note in every single key. And I'll tell you, if you could just get through those two things, you're going to be in really, really good shape from here on out. But then we get into thirds, really, really important. And again, I've got them written out for you. Full range, all 12 keys, so that you can at least get started before you have a chance to memorize them. Harmonic minor thirds. Sorry if I'm scrolling too fast. I hope I'm not making any of you sick. And then we get into arpeggios. So I do a little explanation on arpeggios, why they're important, and then we get into them in several different ways. The first one is, a full range straight up and down arpeggio. In all 12 keys, of course, full range minor arpeggio, straight up and down. Then we get into the staggered stuff, which is really, really important because you don't want to be practicing your arpeggios in just one way. You want to be practicing them in a whole bunch of different ways because you never know how you're really going to see them when they appear in music or exercises, or if you want to use them in improvisation, stuff like that. Then we get into seconds. This is something that a lot of you might not have heard of before, but a second is basically an articulation exercise. So you can see you slur, then you tongue, slur, tongue. So I've got those in the major keys. And then I didn't put them in the minor keys because basically they're just like regular scales with a repeated note. So at this point in the book, now this might take you a couple months to even get to this point in the book, that you should have all your minor scales memorized. So I didn't feel like I needed to write it out. I wrote it out in the major keys just to teach you exactly what it was, and then you can kind of go to it. All right, so then we get into our chromatic exercises, and these are some of the more advanced ones. These are chromatic scale exercises, bunch of different ways to go about playing chromatic scales. Now we get into probably the most advanced part of the book, which is combining keys. Now I explain a lot about what we're doing when we're combining keys, and then I give you a bunch of exercises that where your mind is not only focused in one key, you have to rapidly change between keys. So if you're an improviser, this can really, really, really help you, all right? Because you are taking one exercise and you are putting it through a bunch of different keys. You really got to think on the fly, and that will really improve your ability to improvise over complicated sets of chord changes. Chromatic arpeggios, bunch of exercises on chromatic arpeggios. And that's about it for volume 1. I've already started working on volume 2, which is going to be advanced saxophone warm-ups. Oh, I almost forgot about the wider intervals here. So these are really, really tricky. I put them at the back of the book for a reason, because they're pretty hard. So when you feel like you're ready, you can start to jump into this stuff. And man, this is the hardest stuff in the book right here, these harmonic minor fourths. Those are really, really difficult exercises, and those will seriously get your brain in shape. All right, so that's about it. Just wanted to give you a quick peek at what is contained in the book. If you are interested in getting a lot better at your saxophone warm-up process, just look for the link below the video, and that will bring you to the website for the book. And if you do decide to buy, I really, really hope you enjoy, and I can tell you, I can promise you that this is going to improve your warm-up routine no matter what level you're at. All right, talk to you soon, everybody. Have a great day.